Hello and welcome to The Kaijus and the Details, a chronological examination of the Kaiju film. I'm Ian.
I'm Haru.
And today we got a little bit mysterious with the Mysterians. Kairi. Haru, what did you think of this film?
I guess my name is Kairi now.
Your name is Kairi now, and I'm Sora, I guess. Maybe it's a crack ship, and I'm a nominee. Maybe I'm Aqua. Have we thought about that? What do you think of this film?
It felt like a mixed bag to me. Like there were moments where I felt like this is genuinely, it feels like a pretty good movie. And then there were moments where I feel like this is just one of those movies where you're just gonna like watch it and laugh at it.
This one, I feel like the best way to describe this movie is Eiji Tsuburaya went mad with power. This movie is like 90% effect shots that don't advance the plot forward in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. That's not a bad description.
It's like, it's weirdly accurate. Not to say it's a bad film. I've criticized the American films for doing this, but the problem is that this one also has interesting things happening on the side as it does this. Which I actually have a lot to talk about when we get to the theme section. Mainly because this film has a secret theme we're going to get to later. But also, it just like, its main theme, it literally just tells you multiple times.
Yeah.
It just comes out and says, hey, this one right here that you're watching, this is about how science can be evil sometimes.
Yeah.
It's about how you could use science to take over the world, and that's bad.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
Yeah, it kind of does have, it has a similar message to some of the other, particularly Japanese ones we've seen, where it's like, don't use nukes because we could destroy the world if we're not careful. And it's like, science can get out of control sometimes.
Yeah. It is interesting that like this film features a full out war between all the nuclear powers of the world and the nuclear power of a spacefaring nation that's trying to colonize Earth. And they both are like, oh, but like H-bombs are like too nasty. We can't use those.
Yeah, like the aliens are basically like, if you use like, we're pacifists. They love to emphasize that they're pacifists.
Yeah, they're pacifist colonizers.
We're pacifists, but if you use nukes on us, we'll use nukes on you. And yeah, good luck with that. But also, we've had nukes since you were in like the Stone Age, so good luck with that.
It's interesting. They do kind of have the same backstory as the Daleks from Doctor Who, where they like annihilated themselves in a nuclear war.
Yeah.
And now they're like super irradiated and they don't have a home planet anymore. So the two things that they want are real estate and women.
Yeah. Yeah, like, so, okay, first off, this is I think this is actually the first time we actually get to talk to the, like, antagonists of the film, like, and negotiate with them.
Yeah, we've had
see what they want.
We've had alien invasion stories before, but this is the first one where the aliens actually have a face. As much as they hide it.
Face. They have a face. They're very upfront with what they want, and they are, again, they're pacifists. So, like, they don't want this to turn to bloodshed if it doesn't have to. Well, also, we want land and women.
They're upfront with the basics of what they want. They don't like to mention the fact that they're going to take over more territory once they're
Yeah,
done.
no, like at face value, they like when they so like when they first start those negotiations, and they're like there are 5 specific people that we want to talk to.
Yeah,
Um,
the 5 people who know about us.
yeah. Um, yeah, when they went into those negotiations, I was all like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe we can come to understand these like this other civilization, and like maybe we can like come to like common ground and realize that, you know, maybe we can resolve our differences and work this out in a way that everyone is happy with each other." But no.
Well,
I and
what you
like I
didn't
the moment
what you didn't know
like
at the time, Haru, is that the Japanese title for this film is actually Earth Defense Force and not the
yeah.
Mysterians.
Um, but also like the moment I knew that the negotiation was gonna okay, no. There are 2 moments where I knew that like the negotiations were not gonna like end peacefully. The first moment was they were like, you know, talking about the giant robot attack and like, oh, that was it. That was like a sacrifice that we had to make sure that this wouldn't end in war.
We had to attack you first, so you knew that we wouldn't attack you.
So like that was the first thing that tipped me off to like, okay, these guys are not the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the second thing was we want your women.
Yeah, and also we already have 3 of them. We just want permission to take 2 more
Yeah,
and keep the ones we
okay,
have. Who's also
like
one of them's your sister or your wife.
yeah,
Or
like the upfrontness of okay, you know, we would love to be able to marry your women and have sex with them is like, okay, you know what? Let's ask our women and see how they feel about it.
I would
But
not
then
like.
they're like,
They're
oh yeah,
like.
by the way, we already have some of them.
They're
It's like,
like.
wait, what?
Actually, we would not like to ask. We would like to tell.
Yeah, and during the whole everything, not once did anyone like during like the women have no autonomy in this movie.
Yeah.
Like the aliens get to decide what they want to do with women, and the like
Earthmen decide
Earth, yeah,
that they
like the
don't like that.
Earth men are like, okay, you know what? Yeah, no, we're not for that. And like, okay, sure, I can see why you got to that conclusion, but literally no one asks how the women in question feel about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know what conclusion they would come to, but like, you gotta ask.
It's weird. It's a weird movie as far as women go. They are barely characters. They're really more plot devices.
Yeah.
They are pawns in the grand play. But nobody's really a character in this movie. It is very much a collective protagonist kind of deal here. Um
Yeah, I mean, like, we kind of have something going on with Shiraishi.
yeah,
Um,
our antagonist kinda, or like
yeah, like,
a guy who flip flops around between antagonist and protagonist.
yeah, he kind of plays a very interesting role in the movie because it's like there are points where it's like, okay, I guess this guy is maybe a traitor. Like, I don't know, traitor is a strong word to use here, but like maybe he's a traitor to Earth, but also he's kind of the epitome of the like message behind the film of like sometimes science can go too far.
Hmm.
Because this guy's a scientist and he's like, well, these are science aliens, and I'm a scientist researching these science aliens, so I'll join them and be on their side until I realize that they're not good, and then I'll do a heroic self-sacrifice at the end.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. Um, but maybe not as interesting as the writers wanted him to be.
Yeah.
We should talk about the crew on this film. So Ishiro Honda directing, which is why it has themes in it. We've got Akira Ifukube on the music. Really decent music. Not ones that really endured much, like some of the Godzilla pieces, but certainly interesting. Some of them are like more experimental than I expect from him, and they're interesting. It's just like a lot of them are kind of very in the background while big noises are happening, and they're not very. A lot of them are like not particularly loud, except for this main theme, which is used several times and gets really stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Eiji Tsuburaya, of course, is the director of special effects. This one had a budget of 200 million yen. I don't know how much that is in today's dollars or dollars back then, but I'm sure it's an amount.
Yeah, we need to make some adjustments for like Japanese post-occupation, or like, was this during occupation? Post-occupation, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember when occupation never really ended, but official occupation.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like we take into account like the state of the Japanese economy, like 10, 12 years after the war, and
yeah,
the American economy during the Cold War. So yeah.
For our cast, we've got Kenji Sahara as Joji Atsumi, our main character, quote unquote. He's like barely in the movie.
Yeah,
but most characters are barely in the movie.
That's true, yeah.
He's in the movie as much as any other character. He's in the movie probably more than any other character. It's just like no specific character is really in the movie very much.
Yeah.
And most of the movie, again, is just like model tanks shooting at a dome. Very good looking model tanks, though. This is like, I think, some of Eiji Tsuburaya's best model work as far as like miniature military vehicles goes. The melting tank scenes look great. All the miniatures like look like real military vehicles to a certain extent.
Yeah,
it's actually like impressive amount of detail, especially compared to some like other films in the Godzilla series where they look a little less real. Like it's really impressive. The main thing that doesn't look good is like the rockets.
Yeah,
because they kind of just the experimental rockets that they use as the weapons, the Alpha and Beta, those things look like ass, but that's only because they hover despite being rockets.
Yeah, they don't physics very well, and they're not the only thing in this movie that doesn't physics very well.
Kenji, you might also know from Rodan. He was Kawamura, Shigeru Kawamura. He's going to be showing up in quite a few films. Like all these actors are in quite a few of these films. Yumi Shirakawa was Kyo in Rodan, and she played Etsuko Shiraishi, the sister of Dr. Shiraishi. Momoko Kochi, who you'll definitely remember as Emiko Yamane from Godzilla, played Shiraishi's betrothed that he called off the engagement to just before the events of the film. And Akihiko Hirata, who plays the Shiraishi, is Dr. Serizawa from Godzilla. We've also got Haruo Nakajima as Moguera, because Haruo Nakajima knows how to play a monster in a suit, as seen by Godzilla. He's just like the guy they go to get to play the monster in the suit at this point. We got like other people like Hisaya Ito as Captain Seki. He's going to show up in a lot of other later movies. Tetsu Nakamura, who is Dr. Koda, shows up in a few other movies, not as many. And we've got Harold Conway, one of the first American actors in a Japanese film we're going to talk about. He played Dr. Emelman in The Mysterians here. He's going to reprise that role in Battle in Outer Space in 1959. But yeah, this is like the first part of a trend. In this era, the Japanese films loved to get some English actors in. Either British or American. Just like if they spoke English, they love to get them in. And this film, I think, has the most of that I've actually ever seen in one of these films. There's so much English in this movie.
And like contextually, it makes sense, like why they have the English actors, but it really also stands out. The one guy in particular, I don't remember who he was, but he has a very strong foreign, like he's obviously like fluent enough in Japanese, but he doesn't know how to pronounce anything in
He's kind of
Japanese.
stumbling through them too a little bit.
He's like the most American Japanese speaker.
And there was also a guy with a British accent too. But like, I think the reason why this film does so much of this is that it's trying to be a very international film.
Yeah.
It's an anti-Cold War film, and
Yeah.
it's so like unlike a lot of these Cold War films we've been talking about, this is the opposite. It is trying to be like, hey, why would we fight each other when there could be aliens out there? We could be.
Yeah.
I think it's more supposed to be that we could be so much better together, but
Yeah, like
it is kind of just
it's
saying
kind of,
we gotta fight aliens instead.
you know, it's addressing like these aliens destroyed themselves long ago in the past, and we're like on the verge of doing that to ourselves. Like it's playing that kind of parallel, but there's like it's also being like, you know, we could actually unite if we had like a common enemy that we could all focus on. And like the main focus of that message is the union of like, let's all work together instead of trying to blow each other up.
Yeah, and there's a reason why the
But
Japanese title is
like,
Earth Defense Force instead of Japanese Defense Force.
yeah. But like there's a key missing piece in like, what are we supposed to unite against? Like cuz that's like the central message, right? Is that Earth has to unite. And in the movie there's like an actual threat
Yeah.
that forces Earth to like set aside its differences, and like the US and the Soviet Union shake hands and get ready to take on these aliens. But in practice, like, I mean, I can think of a few things. None of them are actually gonna like get the Earth to unite against like the threat of global warming or you know, various right-wing politicians taking too much power for themselves. Like, there are things we could unite against, but we're not going to.
Well, I think to understand this film, you have to remember that Ishiro Honda, as I've stated before, was a techno-optimist who also feared the power of technology, like simultaneously a techno-optimist and a
Yeah.
techno-pessimist at the same time. Um, and so I think he's coming out of the war and seeing like this new divide occurring with the Cold War. And he's not really invested in it in the same way that Americans are, because Americans are eating like Cold War propaganda at this point.
Mhm.
Granted, a lot of Japanese are as well because of occupation, but you know, they're a little bit further outside of it, and they're right next to the Soviet Union. And so he's seeing like I think like the Mysterians aren't necessarily representing like like they literally are an alien force, but like metaphorically, I think they're more representing just like the H bomb itself in a way, or just like
Hmm.
not necessarily that direct, but like just like the way science
Hmm.
can be misused, mishandled, and lead to humanity's
Yeah.
destruction. So we are we are building weapons of war in this movie to fight off that annihilation. But as I think more
Yeah.
metaphorically, it's about coming together in peace to destroy the destructive parts of humanity in a way. You know,
Hmm. The pacifistic destructive parts of humanity.
exactly. I've got a lot to say about that, but before we do that, let's talk about. There's a kaiju in this movie.
Yeah, actually, before we talk about the kaiju, there is like going back to the Cold War talk.
Uh huh.
I just want to like briefly address that like this movie is very evidently inspired by the space race. Um, in that like there's a line in the movie that basically reminded me that oh yeah, the space race is happening at the time that this movie is like being filmed.
Hmm.
Um, is when like the aliens come and they're like you're so close to visiting the moon and Mars. I'm like, "Oh yeah, we haven't visited the moon yet, have we?" But this is a common thing with a lot of the like hype for alien movies around this time is like they were heavily inspired by the space race and the concept of like we're finally gonna reach the stars. Just a little like tidbit I wanted to address about this movie.
Well, let me add a tidbit to your tidbit. So you mentioned this film is inspired by the space race, but what if I told you it's not? It's actually inspired by films that are inspired by the space race.
Fair enough.
It's inspired by films like War of the Worlds, which came out in 1953, and Earth versus Flying Saucers in 1956. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so like there was a bunch of successful American blockbusters of I guess not we didn't have the quote unquote blockbuster yet, but essentially blockbusters of their time, big budget sci-fi
Mm-hmm.
films that had a huge amount of success in Japan and the United States, and then Toho executives see that and are like, we could do that.
Yeah,
And then they were
I
like,
can.
what if we
Yeah.
threw a kaiju into that? Because we do kaiju things here at Toho Studios.
Yeah.
And so they
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
Like the original treatment for this story actually didn't have a kaiju in it at all. They added that in
Mm-hmm.
because they were like, well, we do kaijus though. It might not sell if it doesn't have a kaiju in it.
What if we did aliens? Okay, yeah, but
What
what
if
if
they
we
had a
did
kaiju?
aliens and kaijus? So
uh,
yeah, speaking of the kaiju.
the kaiju, it's Moguera. That's the name of it. I don't think they mentioned the name of it in this thing.
Hmm.
It's supposed to sound like the Japanese word for a mole, Mogura,
Oh.
but it's Moguera instead. I don't know why it's Moguera instead. That part I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh, it looks funky. I gotta say,
Hmm.
it's bizarre. It's a drilling machine. It's
Yeah,
it's supposed
and
to be like
then.
a mole, obviously,
Hmm.
but it does look like a really jank 1950s robot of a mole,
Yeah,
an upright
and
mole, I should say.
it it has a like interesting whirring sounds. Like anytime it's on the screen. The and, like, the sound it makes, like okay, what's funny about the scene where, like, it's attacking the town,
Hmm.
that scene has, like, very little music,
Yeah, it's kind of
and,
just like
like
horrifying in a way,
yeah, and
except for the
basically, like,
goofy
the
ass
only
kaiju costume.
yeah, like, the only sound you can hear other than, like, the screams of people and the announcer saying, like, "Please evacuate." Um, like, the main sound dominating during the kaiju attack is this like whirring that the robot is making.
Yeah, I think there was soundtrack. It's just like a really low. Like I said, a lot of the soundtrack is very low volume, so you don't actually hear it very well
Yeah.
underneath all the explosions and stuff.
Yeah, like it's there, but it's quiet.
Not a particularly large kaiju either. Apparently,
Yeah.
it's 50 meters tall, which is the same height as the original Godzilla. But it doesn't really seem that tall. It's like barely like towering over like single story huts. Like
Mhm.
it's weird. And then like they're like shooting a flamethrower at it, and it's like a huge flamethrower, and it
Yeah.
really just makes it look like it's not very tall.
Yeah. Um, one of the fun effects that stood out to me with their kaiju was when they first encounter it and it like sets their Jeep on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's a scene right before where it's like very evidently like an actual car that the guys were riding around in.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the scene where it's about to be where it gets like kicked or stepped on by the
Mm-hmm.
robot, and it very clearly is a toy.
I think that transition is actually like fairly well done. Like that toy looks
Yeah,
so much like the actual car. It's crazy.
it is like it's uncanny enough to where like I could tell that it's a toy, but like it does look pretty accurate to the actual thing.
And the car, I should mention, is also they also do this overlay effect with overlaying flames on the car as it explodes. It doesn't actually the
Yeah,
car doesn't actually get exploded. They overlay a flame effect on it, and it looks pretty good.
and this movie loves using flame effects. Like
It
the
loves using overlay effects in general. There's also that flood scene where they
yeah,
overlay the water over everything and it does not look particularly good. The rest of the flood effect looks
yeah,
great, but
the
yeah.
yeah, just the fire that the movie does looks so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish the beam effects looked as good. Some of them look fine, but like
Yeah.
the eye beam effects from Moguera look like dog shit.
Yeah.
The little pips of beams don't look good. It just you need the
Yeah,
actual full on beam.
basically, like, every effect in the movie up until that point to me was like, these are actually really good quality effects, and then we get to the kaiju attack, and it's like, "Oh, this movie can do dog shit effects too."
Yeah, yeah. It's weird. It's like every effect in here has like a really bad version of it done in it as well.
Mhm.
And then this so the kaiju rampage does not actually last particularly long. It's like
Yeah.
a few minutes at the beginning of the movie. The kaiju gets on the bridge, they blow up the bridge, and then the kaiju gets destroyed,
And, like
and it's just gone for the rest of the movie.
yeah, and, like, clearly, like, the kaiju is not supposed to be like, it's not the climax of the movie, it's not supposed to be the
It's
climax
the
of the movie.
teaser. It's weird.
It's yeah, it's like it's the driving force that gets, everyone to realize that there is a threat that they have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like if in the beginning of the end they just killed the giant locust, and then there was some other problem they had to fight for the rest of the movie.
yeah, it like yeah, so, like
Until suddenly there's a giant locust at the end, but then it got killed by something instantly. Because at the end of the fucking movie,
Yeah.
suddenly there's a second Moguera that's like climbing its way out of the earth, right underneath the fucking weapon that they're using to kill the aliens. And then it just like bros up, and then the weapon falls on top of it and destroys it instantly.
I'd forgotten about that until you mentioned it.
It's
That
so
was
funny. It literally is just like, here I am. I'm gonna do so. Oh God, no!
it's like I can't tell if the movie is trying to be funny with that or if it's just comedic timing.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It could be either way. It's very funny
Oh,
though. Either way, it
yeah.
is extremely funny. I can't
Mm-hmm.
believe they did that. Also, apparently, Moguera is made out of space steel, which
Ooh.
is, of course, harder than real steel.
Uh-huh.
Not
How
to be
do you
confused with
make
Real Steel, the movie starring Hugh Jackman, I believe.
oh. How do you make space steel?
You make steel, but in space.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. That's that's Moguera. It's made of space
Mm-hmm.
steel. Everyone loves that Moguera is made of space steel.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back to the kaiju attack though, and like the what I mentioned before about how like there's not a whole lot of music in that scene. Like it's there, but it's not like dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, in the actual climax of the movie, the music is very dominant
Yeah.
and like it gets stuck in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Um s- so like in that way, like the music um is a useful tool to like get you excited when you're supposed to be excited. You're not really supposed to be that excited about the kaiju attack. You're supposed to be like concerned,
Mm-hmm.
but like this is not the main focus of everything. This is we're only now at the tip of the iceberg of this of everything that's going to go down in this movie at the point where you're being attacked by a giant robot.
Yeah.
Um, they do a pretty good job evacuating during the giant robot attack, though.
Yeah. No, like we've seen so many American films recently where it's like, we can't evacuate the city. What else are we gonna do? And then the Japanese film we watch immediately after that is like, no, we're just gonna evacuate everyone in a 75 mile radius or meter radius.
Yeah.
However, kilometer, I don't remember. I think it was kilometer.
Hmm.
Kilometer makes more sense. Meter's not very big, as we've
Yeah.
established.
Yeah, like they actually do it's it's not like they bother to put in the effort. They're very like successful at like we don't see where the people go when they get
Yeah.
evacuated, but they do get evacuated.
Godzilla films love a good evacuation scene because it makes it easier to just enjoy the monsters destroying the scenery.
Yeah.
And it builds tension too. It serves dual
Mhm.
purpose.
Yeah, like it's it's also kind of like just sort of like the classic trope of like people running away from a giant monster that's attacking their city. Um like there's the disorganized chaos of just kind of like running away from the monster.
Hmm.
That's um like it's a very laughed at trope.
Yeah.
Um, but then there's like an actual organized evacuation where like like they're panicking, yeah, but like they like they're organized. Like they have people telling them where to go and like get across this bridge because this is where we're gonna hold the line at this bridge and like
Yeah.
people it's a group effort instead of it being just like every man for himself.
I think American media in particular likes to make fun of the Japanese monster movie where everyone runs when they see the monster. They go, "Oh, it's Godzilla," that kind of thing. They love to make
Mhm.
fun of this. But this is how I know they've never actually seen one, because That's not what happens in like almost any of them. It's always
Yeah.
organized. There's like always military around going like because I think the difference here is that like J- Japanese audiences and the people making the films as well actually did evacuate.
Mm-hmm.
they they had to like evacuate places during the war, whereas
Yeah.
Americans only did drills.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
feel like
One of
they
these
actually know what a
groups
real
is
evacuation looks like.
yeah, one of these groups is speaking from real experience, and the other group is like, we've never had to evacuate.
It's gonna be a chaos. Did you know that Moguera was apparently supposed to be a fully living biological creature, like a reptilian mole-like thing, until they changed it
Huh.
to a robot because they've done too many organic creatures so far, apparently.
Okay, like I could see why like I could see them just making the snap decision of like, you know what, we're not gonna make this a biological thing. We're gonna turn it into a robot.
Yeah,
But that is a very weird reason.
yeah, we just done too many. Uh, we want to distinguish it from the other movies we've done. It's a robot now.
Yeah.
It is very funny though. That it's just like it's apparently these robots are like self-controlled. It doesn't seem like the Mysterians control them at all. They just kind of set them loose because
Yeah,
they're very dumb.
they're just like giant death robots.
Like they walk easily into the trap that the Earth Defense Force sets, and then the other one just like burrows underneath the thing and gets instantly destroyed.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be very cognizant of their surroundings. But that space still gets them through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I just like I think the thing I really find weird about them is the big bulky hips. The big bulky robot hips. I feel
Yeah.
like that part's like I don't think he needed all that. But they do have Moguera does have hips that don't quit. It is also our first mecha, actually. Well, I guess technically that stupid Kronos was a robot of some kind, but this is
Yeah.
our first like true mecha.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Um, I'm done talking about Moguera. Like that's all there is to it. It's it's kaiju
Yeah.
in the details. This is a kaiju film, but not much of one.
Yeah. Moguera's just a small part of the film.
Yeah. A much larger part is the Mysterians themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't tell you who we've got someone who we're going to come to love here in the Kaijus and the details. Yoshio Tsuchiya playing the Mysterian leader.
Mm.
And the reason why I say we're going to come to love him is because he's going to play a lot of aliens from here on out.
Okay.
So he's playing the Mysterian leader. The Mysterians are wearing essentially Super Sentai uniforms, but with
Yeah.
a hole cut in the front so that you can see their sunglasses that they're wearing underneath them.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason why they have the holes in the visors is just so that you can hear them talk and they don't have to dub over
Yeah.
instead of having them muffled like this. But
Also,
it looks
these
very
guys,
silly.
they love capes.
They love capes. When you come in, it's really cold in there because they're very sensitive to heat. So you got to wear a cape. You got to wear a cape that they give you.
You get a complimentary alien cape.
It's weird that they're wearing capes too, though, because like they're sensitive to heat. Why are they wearing something to protect them from the heat or to protect them from the cold?
Yeah. Well, because the capes are cool. Like, genuinely, though, those are some pretty cool capes.
But yeah, apparently when Tsuchiya was being like they were trying to get the role, Toho originally said no to casting him because his face would be covered. And he was like, dog, I can act with my face covered. I'm an actor. And apparently that impressed Honda, Ishiro Honda. So they formed a relationship there. But this to compensate for the lack of ability to like act with your face, Tsuchiya created his own like method of acting as an alien that he calls space acting. Did you notice the like weird staccato gestures he was doing?
Yeah.
And like the kind of way he separated out the syllables of his words. That's space acting, baby.
Huh.
We're gonna see him again.
He came up with it?
Yeah, that's all him.
That's cool.
And so he's going to play aliens in the future. He's going to bring this space acting with him to those roles, even ones that where his face is not covered. He's lovely in a later film that featuring our best friend King Ghidorah. Let's just say the Exilians are a fun time. But yeah, otherwise the Exilian or not the Exilians, sorry, getting ahead of myself. The Mysterians are, like I said, they're kind of just Daleks, right?
Yeah.
They're Daleks that want to fuck. Daleks that fuck.
Yeah, they're Daleks that fuck, and
they're pacifists.
Unlike Daleks, these guys are like
they're pacifists.
Yeah, they're pacifists.
They're pacifists.
You know, they've got like all sorts of technology that can kill you, and they will use it to kill you, but they're pacifists.
Have they ever once made an aggressive action except for that one time?
You know, everything else they've done is in self-defense.
Except for that one time.
Yeah. And
that was just to make sure that you knew that their technology was so powerful that you should be a pacifist too.
Yeah.
But it's not a threat or anything. It's not blackmail or a threat.
It's a sacrifice.
It's just a sacrifice. It's just a sacrifice.
Meanwhile, we already have some of your women.
So, now is as good a time as any. Haru, do the Mysterians remind you of anyone? Say, America. Oh, yeah. We just want a small 2-kilometer wide piece of your land. We're just gonna. We want the right to fuck your women, and we've already got a couple of them.
You know what? I'm seeing the parallels.
This is like a really crazy thing. Okay, so here I'm gonna quote from Ishiro Honda again. When we're talking, I guess we're like solidly into themes territory here. When Honda was reflecting on the development of the film, he said that he respected scientists, but feared the danger of science, and that whoever controlled it could take over the entire Earth. That's like the theme of the movie to Honda. Now, an interesting thing in this movie is that you have that, and then you have this one conversation between Shiraishi. Shiraishi. Sorry, I was looking where it was. There, Shiraishi. Between Shiraishi and Atsumi. Where Shiraishi is like fully like convinced of the Mysterian project. He's like, it's just a little bit of land. They have such great technology. There's no way you can win. And he's like, Atsumi, didn't you once lament the technological gap between Japan and America? The technological gap here is much greater. And he says that, and it's like, huh. So we're like thinking about the technological gap between Japan and America too, right? And how the one with the greater technology will rule the world, and that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And these Mysterians just so happen to act as an occupying force in Japan, just taking a little bit of land here and there, and they're women. They're doing aggressive actions, but just to show that their technology is so great, and you really should just give in to peaceful negotiations.
This is a lot more of a longer standing history in Japan than just like the effects of World War II. Like this is
Moguera is
straight up
Matthew
like
Perry.
yeah, like this is straight up like the black ships.
Moguera is the black ship bombarding the coast of Japan.
It's like, we have gunboats. What are you gonna do about it?
It's the Great White Fleet coming in and bombarding the coast and saying, "Hey, you're trading with us now."
Yeah. You're gonna give us access to your land and your women, and there's nothing you can do about it. Also, we're pacifists.
We are pacifists, and we just want to open up Japan. It's all we want. Like, you cannot tell me that a Japanese person in 1957 writing this would not see the parallels that they were making.
Yeah.
They might not be talking about it, which I don't blame them for not talking about it. That's going to make people mad at you.
Yeah.
But you can't say that the parallels aren't there and wouldn't have been noticed, I feel like.
Yeah. This movie goes deep.
Yeah, like, I think there's a lot to say about this movie. It's just like not much of the movie has anything to say. Ooh, there's a nice little turnaround for you, a little turn of phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the movie, again, is just it really is.
It's just little boys playing with their toys.
This is what people want Godzilla movies to be. They just want it to be all this and like none of the human plot.
Yeah.
It probably has too much human plot for them still, but like this is what they want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, again, it's got the same energy as Shin Godzilla having a character come out and say, "Modern Japan is a tributary state."
Mm-hmm.
It's got that same kind of energy. It's just like, it's not as upfront about it because it's 1957 and you can't say that out loud yet.
Mm-hmm.
Funnily enough, though, this film is apparently one of Ishiro Honda's favorites.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell they had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if it's one of his favorites because it has the least to do with him. If he's one of those guys that's like kind of doesn't like his own work. I don't know. I could kind of relate to that. Like, it makes me wonder if he's one of those guys. And he's like, well, this is mostly actually Eiji Tsuburaya's work, and so I think it's actually one of the best ones. I don't know. I'm just kind of inferring something that could definitely not be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One thing that does kind of stand out to me is I feel like a lot of the actual plot of like them trying to get rid of the aliens is really just kind of throwing around whatever ideas stick instead of actually thinking about like, oh, they're vulnerable to heat.
It's throwing spaghetti
at
the wall. The movie.
Yeah. Like, they're vulnerable to heat. No, they're not. Shit. Let's nuke them. No, we can't do that.
Let's use an electron beam. Okay, how long is that going to take to make? Too long. Okay, well, what about Markalite? What the fuck is that? It's a thing that reflects the beams. Oh, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey, is that electron beam ready yet? nope. Okay, I guess we're gonna go for it. Electron beam is never talked about again after that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, they just get these like satellite dishes that reflect back the beams, and they shoot they shoot the same kind of beam, and like,
And oh boy, Godzilla movies, Toho monster movies love a nice reflecting a beam. Hell, some of the other kaiju films do as well. It's always nice when you can reflect the beam back on the thing that's shooting the beam.
But as it turns out, no, actually shooting it from the outside with beams and reflecting the beams back at it is not good enough.
It almost
We
works,
have to just,
but you gotta work on the inside too.
yeah, you got to destroy it from the inside out.
Which turns out
But
is shockingly easy to do.
it only works if you do it in a heroic sacrificey kind of way. If you're just the first guy who's like,
Bow, bow, bow. He's gun ran out of juice.
yeah, but
He couldn't finish
no,
the job because his gun ran out of juice.
but no, if you like find all the women and lead them out and tell them to run away, I'm gonna stay and blow up this thing. And they're gonna be like, no, no, please, no. And you're gonna be like, no, trust me, I have to do this. Then yeah, you're gonna blow it up.
Yeah. I like how Dr. Shiraishi, who's the one who did that, he sacrificed himself because he had easier access to the inside than the other guy who just like snuck in and like caught a guard who didn't scream or yell at all. Just like the women, when the women were taken, they didn't scream or yell at all. Nobody screams or yells in this movie. They don't want to. It'd be impolite.
Unless their city is being attacked, then they scream.
Yeah,
a little bit,
but in a nice and orderly manner. So he does this sacrifice, but then like the leaders of the Mysterians are like getting away, and he like points his gun at them, and he just kind of goes, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why he doesn't decide to shoot them. I get like, is he just tired of killing people? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, also like a nice little touch as he's making a sacrifice is he hands over like his finished research to like the women as
the beginning of the movie.
Escaping. Yeah. And he's like, here, I finished this. Like, I finished my research. Bring this back to the guy. And like, I don't know. It's a nice little touch. Like,
yeah, kind of closes that
have to be a
loose end, I guess.
Yeah, it didn't have to be a part of the movie, but it was.
Yeah, it's kind of just another in a long line of things that just happened in this movie, though. Things just happen in this movie.
Yeah.
Another important thing to note, since we've kind of reached a dead end on this, Mysterians is the first tokusatsu film to be filmed in Toho scope. Be impressed.
Toho scope.
So Toho scope is how you film a movie. So you notice how the movie was wide?
Yeah.
That's Toho scope.
Oh, okay.
So it's a specific type of lens arrangement that lets you do a widescreen movie. Toho scope is just CinemaScope, but Toho owns the rights to it. It's an anamorphic lens system, as what is a specific terminology. But yeah, it's so CinemaScope takes over in Hollywood, and like everything becomes a CinemaScope movie, and you get all these beautiful widescreen movies with this wonderful color. And then Toho's like, well, now we have to do that shit, so they make Toho Scope, which is the exact same thing, but Toho. CinemaScope, but Japanese, that kind of thing. And it looks great. I love the way Toho Scope looks. I think it looks. I have a lot of nostalgia for Toho Scope, obviously, because I watched the Godzilla movies a lot as a kid. But I
Mhm.
think it looks wonderful. I think CinemaScope looks wonderful too. But
Yeah, Toho Scope looks pretty good.
and you didn't even see the very good quality version of this film. I'm sure the Criterion Collection version looks much better.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's cool. This is our first Toho Scope. It's our first Toho Scope and color film. We had a color film with Rodan.
Mhm.
Obviously we had a color film with Beast of Hollow Mountain, but like from the Japanese side of things, the Toho side of things, we had color with Rodan, but I think the color in Toho Scope is just so much more vibrant for some reason.
Mhm.
I'm not sure the exact reason why. Rodan's color just always feels a little bit dullened to me. Oh, it was I found the little thing where it says that the Mysterians was Ishiro Honda's favorite film he directed. It's apparently an interview conducted just before his death, and is the favorite, not one of his favorite. So
Mm.
weird. I feel like it's not one of his best, but I guess maybe it was a pretty relaxing shoot. I imagine the Godzilla shoot was pretty hectic.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see them having a lot of fun making this movie.
Yeah, there's 2 dubs of this film. We're not gonna watch them as episodes. I don't know that they have significantly different changes from the original film. One is from the none of these didn't get dubs at the time. I am pretty sure they got like a VHS dub later, and then later they got an updated dub. Which I'm not sure like the difference between the two. Apparently there's a the Wikizilla has like a page comparing the two, so if you want to look more details, you can see that. Um, but yeah, I don't think they're going to be significantly different enough from this to warrant an actual look at them.
Mhm.
And there's barely any kaiju in this movie anyways, so who cares? I will say though the more recent dub sounds insane. It's got modern dub studio audio for the dub. Like it sounds exactly like the dub for Shin Godzilla. This like obviously in a modern recording booth audio with like low paid voice actors, doing the dubbing. But it's also got the original audio for like the music and sound effects and stuff, which has the warmth you expect from that era of film, right?
Yeah.
So there's just a very weird tonal mismatch between the modern dub and the original audio. I think they should have done something to the audio to make it fit in better or something, because it just sounds insane.
Mhm.
It sounds absolutely insane. I can't imagine watching it all the way through with the modern dub. I'm
Yeah.
honestly, it feels like I would go crazy. Well, I'm going through my notes now. Landslide effects. We've got some good landslide effects that we tested out in Rodan. We were kind of perfecting them here. They look awesome. The flood effect also looked good until they did the water overlay. I just think they're getting so good at miniature landscapes.
Mhm.
I've got some good quotes here. One of the Mysterians' reasons for why they decided to reveal themselves now, apparently, like, according to them, is that some people are even selling land at random on Mars. I think they're referring to like scams, like somebody selling you a piece of land on Mars is a scam. Yeah, I've got the quotes for the 2 times where they just like turn to the camera and tell you the moral lesson of the movie. The tragedy of the Mysterians is a good example for us. Don't use science the wrong way. Don't repeat the tragedy. And they're trapped in space forever. We must not repeat their mistakes.
Mhm.
Like they're just like turning to the camera and going, "Hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't use science the wrong way. Don't use science for evil. Don't do it." um we did have a naked woman seeing a monster from her window. That's something we haven't seen in a while
Mhm.
since like King Kong.
Yeah.
And we also had the Mysterians come from Planet 5, just like a random planet in the solar system. But at least in this case, it's one that's already long gone. So we don't have to
Mhm.
worry about Nibiru or Planet X or anything like that. Oh, cinematography in this film. There were some really cool shots. Like most of it is kind of like standard you expect to see from Eiji Tsuburaya and Ishiro Honda. Like it's like pretty good, but
Mhm.
like nothing like that really stands out except for these POV shots of the military. There's one that's like a jet plane coming in to shoot at the dome, and there's another that's like a tank coming in. Uh, and then also you get a reverse shot with the tank where you get some of that screening effects that you like. The guys riding in the tank with the screen behind them.
Mhm.
But yeah, those shots were really cool. Like they
Yeah.
fucking tied a camera to one of the fucking props. No, they had to have just like taken the camera stand for like, especially for the flying one. They had to have taken the camera stand and just had it come in as if it were prop. At least because Moguera wasn't in most of the movie, they could make the dome a different scale.
Mhm.
It was kind of funny how early in the movie that one military guy just kind of fell into a hole exactly his size when he was running away from Moguera.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess the only other thing is that like I'm still like those spaceships that they made just fly so slow. I cannot emphasize enough how bad it looks when they fly so slow. Those rockets, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. Especially as they get destroyed. Like they're supposed to be like indestructible from the ray because they are staying out at a certain distance, and then one of them just gets hit and explodes immediately.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anything else from you, Haru?
Um, the rockets are one of the two things that don't physics very well. Another thing that doesn't physics very well is the like satellite dishes that they use to in their final counterattack against the aliens when they like airdrop the satellite dishes and it just like it falls in a way that it definitely would not fall.
Mm-hmm. It falls in a way that it would fall if it had a parachute, perhaps like a really really big parachute that helps slow its fall. But it
Mhm.
does not have that. Instead, it has a big radio dish on the top, which I guess they're like, well, physics wise, it'll kind of work like a parachute, right? I don't think that's true. I don't know that that's
Yeah.
true, but at least it does have rockets on the bottom to slow its fall. So
Mhm.
once it actually positions itself in a way where the rockets are on the bottom, it's able to slow its fall.
Um, and I guess my last thought is just the scene where the aliens came to kidnap the women was funnier than it was supposed to be because
Yeah.
just like they just pick up the women and they fall unconscious and you're mine now. Like the and like they didn't bother screaming as we already mentioned and like it's just surreal. Like this is not how an actual kidnapping would go.
Yeah. We mentioned this slightly earlier, but like they really do just come out. First of all, they float on down from the spaceship, which is just awesome. It's just like, ooh. And then they just grab them. They don't scream, yell, or anything. Nobody screams or yells in this movie. And they just grab them, and then they float back up. Ooh. Luckily, they see the last one get taken because they take them both at
Mhm.
different times for some reason. It's very strange.
Yep.
Anything else?
Nope. That's I think all my thoughts on the movie wrapped up.
Well, I think we have solved the mystery of the Ians. Wait, that's me. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. You can find this podcast wherever podcasts are found and at the YouTube channel Them Pod Ian. where you can subscribe, like, share, and make sure that all your friends watch this. Watch this. Listen to it, like a podcast. You know how you listen to podcasts instead of watch them? Although I guess if you're on
The best
YouTube,
way
you
to
are
get
watching it a little bit.
Yeah. And let's not forget the best way to get people to listen to a podcast is endlessly talk to them about it and just be like, hey, listen to this podcast. Hey,
Look,
listen.
as a person who enjoys a podcast, it does take like 10 or so times before you actually get someone to listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
Sometimes more. It's crazy. It's so hard to get people to watch or look at anything, and I'm a big issue on this as well. It's hard for me. Hard to get me to watch anything you ask me to.
So be annoying about our podcast,
exactly.
please.
It's the only way we'll survive. Once they start killing us for having bad like performing podcasts. Haru, where can people find you?
I am Haru Hayes. You can find me at mostly Twitch and Blue Sky are like the main two places where you'll find me. On Blue Sky, I am haru.vspire.live, and I'm also present on Discord.
Coolio. And I'm Vampire Iain, vampire VTuber and card game extraordinaire. You can find my main channel, Vampire Iain. You can find my VOD channel, Tomb of Vampire Iain. You can find my channel for music, Yuri Riot. Thempod Iain is, of course, where this podcast is. I've got a new channel. Oh my god, Nexus Network. It's for Lestrals. If you're not into Lestrals, it's not for you. But if you are into Lestrals, there you go. And I have another one coming soon too. Ugh, it's just so much.
You have so many YouTube channels.
Because YouTube doesn't want you to be a diverse person with many interests. They want you to specialize into one specific thing forever. So to make your channels to let your videos have a room to breathe, they all have to be in their own little quarantine zones away from each other. It's very frustrating, as you might imagine. Are you ready to say goodbye to Moguera?
Yeah.
Sayonara, Moguera.
Sayonara, Moguera.
Look, there he goes. He's drilling away. No, watch out! Not the Twin Towers!